Hi, today we'll be discussing activity-based costing. Activity-based costing is identifying individual activities as the cost objects and allocating the unit cost based on activities required and cost consumed. In activity-based costing, companies can estimate the cost of entire products, services, and activities. It can also help a company get rid of products that are not profitable and adjust the price on products that are profitable. It can also eliminate certain techniques used by companies that are not benefiting the company. As a company's technology and information grow, it's smart for them to switch to activity-based costing. In activity-based costing, overhead costs are allocated using different overhead rates to different departments. There are different levels of activity within activity-based costing. There's unit-based costs, batch-level costs, product-level costs, and facility-level costs, which is different from traditional costing where they only use unit-level costs. When determining activity-based costing, there are various steps to find the total cost. First step, distribute off all costs to activity-related cost pools. An example would be machine setups and quality inspection costs. The next step, determine the cost drivers for each cost pool. An example, number of setups for the machine costs and number of inspections for the quality inspection costs.
The next step in determining ABC costing is to trace the total number of activities that are allocated to each product, and then you add them to get the total number of activities, whether it be machine setups or quality inspections. The next step is to calculate the ABC rate for each product. This is where you take the estimated total overhead cost for each activity cost pool and divide it by their total activity. This would then result in the ABC rate. The next step is to assign manufacturing overhead costs to each product using the ABC rate. This is where you take the ABC rate calculated in the previous step and multiply it by each product's number of activities. After calculating all the manufacturing overhead costs, you get the total manufacturing overhead assigned to each product. You then divide the manufacturing overhead assigned by each product's total number of units that are going to be produced, and this gives you the overhead per unit. The next step is to compute the unit cost for each product. This is where you take direct materials, direct labor, and manufacturing overhead, which gives you the total unit cost. Direct materials and direct labor stay the same throughout both traditional costing and activity-based costing.
Activity-based costing is much more accurate than traditional costing, where in activity-based costing you're able to allocate the overhead much more efficiently, because traditionally you have one cost driver that's allocated for every activity, whereas in activity-based costing you're able to report each department more accurately based on what they use by using multiple cost drivers across multiple levels. With traditional costing you have one cost pool, but with activity-based costing you have many cost pools, which include machine setups, inspections, product orders, among others. You also have multiple driver allocations with activity-based costing, which include setups, inspections, and orders, whereas in traditional you have a single driver allocation, which is usually direct labor hours. Also, with traditional costing, it's mostly unit level activities, whereas in activity-based costing you're using all levels, which include product level, batch level, facility level, and unit level.